me, boy, make sure you tie up your legs. Ay, when I was down bad, boy, I got on my knees and I started to pray. Now I'm breaking bread with my young Betty Wiz, he was a part of the gang. No, now he getting paid every single day. Yeah, I was hustling, I could turn an 8 to a 28. Let me show you. 12, they can kiss my hair. Yeah, see them lights, but you know I got the strap. Go right up, now he getting paid every single day. Yeah, I was hustling, I could turn an 8 to a 28. Let me show you. 12, they can kiss my hair. Yeah, see them lights, but you know I got the strap. Go right, I push the. I do the dash, on my way to the bag, boy, you know I push the gas.
Yeah, okay, my timing is critical. Then on my rhyming is pivotal. Homie, the dash is digital, gas residual. Fire and smoke like I'm leading a ritual. If you bet my cash is long, I hit the gas, I'm gone. Riding my wave, I've been stuck in my zone. I bet I blast them all, sliding on faith. I've been finding my ways, grinding for days. I've been out shining the hate. All of y'all wanted for praise, stuck in a phase, let it turn it a blaze. Yeah, homie, you don't want to race. Nah, better to stick to your place. Yeah, want it all, I gotta taste. You push on the pedal, now I gotta skate. Yeah, all I ever known, put me on this throne. Pinnacle, push my buttons and that motherfucker go. What you know, what you own. Push it and I zone. Sonic booms full of room, run it till the tomb with my goons, smell the fumes. Y'all know what it do with the crew when we coming through. Y'all know better move, make it fast. Ain't no second chance coming for your ass. Turn to ash, burning rubber now. Better push the gas like.
I do the dash, on my way to the bag, boy, you know I push the gas.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. Blacking out, afraid just fading day by day. I'm reaching out for someone who can take away the pain I feel for things I haven't done at all. I've lost my way, but how I felt I can't recall. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep
losing control? I'm gonna show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark, watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you want to wait. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh, I like losing control.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle.
Good morning, everyone. It is literally 5 a.m. for me right now, but since I knew that a lot of people are going to watch Arcane in like different time zones, I've decided to like go to sleep and then like wake up at a time that I think will kind of work. I'm not sure, but like I've never really done a stream at 5 a.m. so here we are. So yeah, Arcane came out for me like early in the afternoon, so I ate lunch and watched Arcane like literally as I finished my video and I uploaded it. I was like, oh, finally I can go to sleep, and then I realized that Arcane was released and I was like, wait, what the fuck? So yeah, so I ate my like technically dinner, like yesterday's dinner at like lunch, today's lunch, and then I couldn't go to sleep because I was so mad about so many things, and then I went to sleep, and now it's 5 a.m. and I'm awake. So hi, hello, how are ya? So if you haven't been on my Twitter, if you want some quality live tweeting, you should go check it out. The guys at the LPP squad said that we should probably live tweet, and I've decided to do that. I've never live tweeted in my life, but I really hope I nailed it. Basically, live tweeting is when you tweet everything that's happening on screen. Is it really hard for a person with an ADHD? Yes, but I was trying my hardest, and hopefully you've been entertained. Yeah, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen in these 3 episodes. Things that I'm very happy with, things that I'm less happy with, like, you know, our Jace Vic ship, just like crushing into the rocks and sinking, and yeah, and I'll be discussing some of it, because I still want to keep some stuff for the video, right? Because like tomorrow I'll have to like get up and start writing, but besides the writing, there are a lot of things going on with Riot Forge at the moment. If you don't know, Riot Forge has been hinting at things. What's happening First of all, there's going to be like a rhythm game, which I'm obsessed with, because if you haven't noticed, I am absolutely obsessed with rhythm games, and having a rhythm game dedicated for Ziggs and Donger is probably one of the coolest things ever. So we're getting a rhythm game, but we also know that the Ruined King might actually be coming out, like right now. Like, right the fuck now. It's happening. Like, it's happening. We've been waiting for this moment, like, for a year, and it's finally happening. So, I don't even know, like, what is the schedule anymore, you know? Like, we have so much stuff we have to do. Like, this video alone, the first Arc video took me so long to make. It was excruciating. But I managed to do it. It took me a week, but I managed to push it through. But, you know, with everything else coming in, I'm like freaking out. Also, like, there's so many things going on the League client, which I guess we'll be checking out today, because I haven't been to the League client. I played one game to get a free Jace and a free Jace skin, which I'm really sad about, because right now I'm really not happy about the fact that I have that, because I don't want it. If I could cancel it, I would. So yeah, yeah, I'm very overwhelmed with everything that's happening. True. Oh man, thank you so much for the рубли. Почему люди хейтят Mel и Jace? Why do people hate Mel and Jace? So, I wouldn't say that people hate on Mel and Jace. People are just really disappointed with the fact that Jace and Victor have been destroyed and thrown into the bro zone. And I think that the main thing that pisses me off the most about it, I'm not happy about it either. Do I hate Mel and Jace? Well, Jace, yeah. Mel? No, absolutely not. She's a queen. Like, even if she's a villain, which, by the way, we will discuss in a moment, I adore her. She's hot. She's awesome. She's a baddie. She's queen material. Like, you know, I adore her. She's a great character. But I do hate Jace. I've never liked Jace in the lore, and I don't like Jace now either. So there we go. He had proved his douchebaggery, yet again, which we also will discuss. So first of all, let's put the Mel and Jace thing to the side. So I've made an extensive tweet about that, which I'll read out to those who don't have Twitter. So let me just hop onto that real quick. Yo, I literally banned like 300 people today. I'm not even kidding. It is just so obnoxious. So here's the thing. Where is that? There it is. Okay, so let's read it out for y'all. Do you think that Mel is controlled by LeBlanc? Woo, that's a stretch, but wait a minute. We'll get there. We'll get there too. Good, because as someone who has a best friend whom I can call a brother, their relationship is deeper than them being lovers. Bros need to survive. Look, I'll get to that in a point, okay? Let's put the bros on a pause here real quick. Oh my god, Josh. Thank you so much for the super chat. The look Vi gave Kate when she saw her talking to another female in the... We'll talk about that too. Wait, guys, wait, I just started the stream. Let me bitch for a moment, okay? So here's the thing. So my main issue with the whole like Victor and Jace thing was the fact that they've been subtly hinting at us that there was more going on between the two of them. The chemistry that they've built in the 3 episodes that we've watched was a lot deeper and could have been a great potential relationship, because I don't know how, like, what people imagine relationships to be like, but relationships, like romantic relationships, start off with like a really close friendship. Therefore, that friendship can actually blossom to something more, which is exactly what so many of us had in mind, because they just kept subtly throwing stuff at us, like Victor pointing out that he's walking in the middle of the night in a hallway with Jace right behind him, taking him to his bedroom. Like, that's a subtle fucking joke. I don't know how the fuck you missed it. And then you had like the whole moment of them like floating in the air and him like, you know, pushing a little ring towards him. And it's like, yes, you guys are practically married. No, I'm just kidding. But like all of these like small things, they start building this expectation. And obviously when you make this kind of relationship connections and you show it, and the way that you show it will make people go feral. There is a reason why so many people are shipping them, and they're shipping them for a legitimate reason. Just because there are some people who can't understand and grasp the idea of relationship and friendship being, you know, part of one another, doesn't mean that it does not exist. Me and my mans, we've been friends from the very beginning. Our relationship had bloomed into something else only after we stopped playing League of Legends with one another. But like, yeah, so that's like the gist of it. So you have this expectation and you want this to happen and you're like, oh my god, you know, all of these things are happening in Arcane. Obviously, it's a very graphic show. We're gonna see like so many things, and so maybe we're actually going to see a male MLM, like male loving male relationship within this world, because we know that in League of Legends we'll never get it. Like that's impossible for financial reasons, because the only gay couple we've ever had were Kai and 𝗬𝘀, and they were dead the moment they were shown to us. So we're expecting something to happen. We're expecting that we actually might get something, because if we can't get it in all of these places, maybe we can get it on Netflix, which is already showing graphic everything, which is already like kind of hinting at things. So, you know, we're having this like really, really epic expectation, and that just went down the drain in the most obnoxious way possible. Besides Jace dropping the fact that he's like a brother to me, and him literally slipping with Mel, like not even like 3 minutes into whatever conversation they were having, like Jace and Mel didn't have the build-up Jace had with Victor. They literally were nothing to one another. Like 1 second, Jace is on the stage talking about how he's going to have his like new toy, and then like doesn't talk about it to the public, which Mel wanted him to, and got really disappointed when he didn't. And then like a second later, Victor is dying, and she's like, you know what we should do? Fuck. So like, you know, all of this is like really, really weird. Obviously, this like scene was meant to kind of like portray the fact that he's using her because he needs her influence and her power, because that's kind of what she taught him, right? She was all about like, okay, Sugar Blossom, now that you're done with science, you need to get into politics. So he had to do that, and he did. He played by her book. He did exactly what she wanted him to. So, you know, like that was it. And she got what she wanted, because she pointed out that she's not very popular among her Medarda family, and really wanted to prove herself in some way. And by having this like boy wonder with like hextech technology, and the fact that she can technically now control all of Piltover and Zaun is like a big thing. So are they romantically connected? No. Did they just have a really nice fuck? Yeah, obviously there was like space in it. It was really weird, honestly. I really don't understand like why we had to have that in the series. Like I felt like it was a little too forced. Like, and I'm a very sexual beast, okay? Like you guys know it. I do not shy away from this kind of thing, but I feel like that whole thing was like a little too forced. It's like, oh, like with HBO series, you know, when you're like, you have a show and they're like, titties. Here's titties. Why? Because there's titties. So like here, especially in like a PG-16 series, you don't expect to see that, and then it happens and you're like, oh, okay, well that's happening. Like I wasn't even happy for him. Like it took me a moment to realize what was happening with Mel, and it's like, I appreciated the last shot with her with all of her luscious hair and everything. Like, oh my god, she was so hot, but like, it was just like really, really weird. So yeah, so I made a post about it on Twitter, and this is what I had to say. Have I known Victor and Jace had no relationship in lore? Absolutely. Yes, we all know that Victor and Jace never had a relationship, and in fact, they actually have a really bad relationship in the lore. Did I expect them to have any type of relationship? No! I didn't expect them because I know the lore, and I didn't expect them to have anything, but over the 2 hours, their friendship has been hinted at numerous times, and since the story was already changing, we expected something. So what I'm saying by that is that in the span of 2 hours, in those 3 episodes, the chemistry between Jace and Victor is like, again, like there's like subtle hints at things that you would have noticed if you're not a judgmental asshole and know how relationship works, because like relationships between men and men work exactly the same way, like the relationship between men and women. So would I care if there was some, like, an actual relationship or not? No, but the way they went about it is the problem, and here's what I had to say. Honestly, even without them having any type of relationship, I could have survived. But when you're so blatantly giving us women to women and hetero scenes with no male to male relationships to be found, it pisses me off. It is as if gays don't exist in 𝗤𝗪𝙪. Throughout those 3 episodes that we had, we've seen lesbians galore. All the interactions Vi had with Caitlyn, which, oh my god. I want to be a sweet cupcake too! That scene, the brothel scene when like you end up seeing Caitlyn with like, you know, with a prostitute in there, like all of that is just like a massive holy shit, you know? But then you're asking yourself, okay, but where the gays are? Where are the gays? So like you see lesbians, A-okay, then you see like an entire fucking hetero sex scene, but there's literally no gay representation, and that really irks me. Because like, lesbians always are put into this like highlight because heteros, like, they fetishize them, and it's always like, okay, because it's so cute when girls do it, right? But like when dudes do it, no, gay bad. So I was not about this. This is what really made me mad. As a bi woman, I'm very happy to see Caitlyn and Vi having a moment, but it's always the women to women who get the spotlight. Why? Because it always has been an easier pill to swallow for heteros who just get off on it. Try showing men with men in media and suddenly gay is bad. The only male-to-male couple we ever had were 𝗲𝘓 and 𝗫𝗫, and they were literally murdered the moment they were introduced to us. I gave up on hoping for male-to-male representation in a game, but when you have a series that doesn't shy away from graphic content, your hopes are up. And honestly, the story could have been told with no lover's interests whatsoever. That's the reality of it. You could have completely avoided all of this like romance thing. Like, we could have avoided it. You could have not added all those like subtle, like romantic moments between Jace and Victor. You could have avoided the thing between Mel and Jace. Like, that was never part of the lore to begin with. Vi and Caitlyn is really cute, but also like Vi and Caitlyn were kind of obvious to us, like Leona and Diana. Like, that's that old. It's that old. Like, it's been there somewhere in like 2014. So like that was something that should have happened, and we're happy that it's finally happening. Kind of like we're hoping for, you know, Twisted Fate and Graves, but that's not happening yet, right? But we still have like a second lesbian couple, but we still don't have a gay one. You see the hypocrisy here? Do you see it? Okay, so like I said, and honestly, the story could have been told with no lover's interest whatsoever. Like, now I can't help but to care about the aspects of the series, when in reality it shouldn't even matter. But since you made it matter, now I can't stop thinking about it. I didn't care about whether or not there's going to be romantic relationships in this series, but now you made it matter, and now I'm mad because I don't see the representation that I want the series to have, that this series should have, because you've already had so many different representations. So like, what's happening on this end? And a personal note to all of my gay followers. Your feelings are valid. Like, if someone tells you that you're overreacting or that you're exaggerating, blatantly tell them to go fuck themselves. Like, I really don't understand this, like, the point of, like, people even saying that to other people, but, like, wanting to be represented is completely understandable. Like, it is absolutely understandable. We want to be represented. There isn't enough of us in media, especially in animated media, and we want to be represented. So it's like, for someone to be like, oh, you're overreacting, or like, oh my god, Dinka, you gotta chill. No, shut the fuck up. You go chill. Don't tell me to chill. I'm not chilling. I'm mad, and I have the right to be mad. I have the right to be mad for my friends that are not being represented. I'm allowed to be mad to see my friends and their face expression, how it literally falls down when they're so excited about something, and then it just like gets snatched away from them because fucking money and corporate companies. We have the right to be mad about it. So like, shut the fuck up. If you have nothing good to say, if you don't want to be an ally to this, back the fuck up. Like, for real. Like, I'm honestly, and that is exactly why I literally banned like 300 people today. I sat down and I banned 300 people. Because if you're not going to be respectful, if you can't be supportive, if you can't be part of this inclusive community that I have built for this exact purpose, then you're not welcome here. So, yes. Taking all of that to the side, let me just go over the super chats real quick, because I see that a lot of people have said something. Theory, opinion, 𝗂𝘂𝗽𝗏 ends up sacrificing himself to protect Jinx from Caitlyn, pushing her over the edge and making her become Jinx. Okay, Mel and Jace didn't know Victor is dying. Jace knew Victor was dying. Mel couldn't give a fuck as Victor is dying. Jace knew it. Jace knew how sick Victor was. Jace literally saw him coughing up blood. What are you talking about? Relationship between men and men don't work the same way they do between men and women. Not an opinion, a fact. Чё, блядь? What? What? Ты чё, охуел? No, for real, like, what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just. I love you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What? Okay, how different are they? Like, wow. Oh my god. Oh wow. Alright. Beautiful. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear the difference between romantic relationships between human beings. Like, because both of them have penises? So what should I so like what should I do if I have a strap on? What do I do then? Do I I have to change my relationship? If you want, we can have a Discord call and I explain. No, Sugar Blossom. No, you can't explain. No. Oh my god. Please, no conversion therapy in relationship. Jesus Christ. Wow. Lord, have mercy on this poor soul. Anyways, so let's discuss the episodes. We need to basically break down what was happening in the first, second, and third arc episodes. Well, you asked to explain, now you say no. Homeboy, you gotta stop sending tips for that. stop sending me hyper chats. For real. Stop. Stop. My dude. You can also just write. You can also just write. I don't owe you shit. I'm not gonna have you on Discord right now for you to explain to me why male and male relationships are not similar to female and female relationships or hetero relationships. Jesus. Anyway, so, what did we have? I'll have to go back to my super chats for me to remember because I cannot show you any images or pictures of that, obviously. We're not going into there. So, let's enjoy this. Okay, so let's see. Like there's so much like information in my head right now. Okay, so the first episode was with Progress Day. Now I thought it's going to be the Progress Day when Caitlyn's parents are being kidnapped, and the thing is like Caitlyn's parents were kidnapped when she was a lot younger. I think it was like on her 16th birthday or like 14th birthday. So like obviously this is not one of those Progress Days when it's supposed to happen because she's grown. In that episode, it was, first of all, I loved to see Jinx, and I loved how they portrayed her, how insane she was. The fact that she had built little dolls of Clagor and Milo, and she was talking to them, that was creepy as fuck. Like, they just took schizophrenia to like a whole new level. And I was actually like really disturbed by it. Then we had the whole moment with Jace and Mel, right? Like, so Jace showed the gauntlet, the Atlas gauntlets, and the Victor hook to Donger, and Donger was like, "Yo, this is really nice and all, but you should probably keep this to yourself. Like, you shouldn't be sharing this type of information because if this falls into the wrong hands, like, we're all kind of fucked." Now, Donger says it to him, and you're kind of like, you must think about like that one time when he was talking to him and he told him not to do something, and then Jace went and did it and got canceled for it. So I guess Jace is now a little more grown up, and he managed to understand what Donger said. Mel wanted him to talk about it. Mel wanted him to mention like the hextech possibilities, because many people want to have that type of technology, which is already sus as fuck. Like, we were talking about making this technology to help people, not for the rich and built over to have it, you know? So like, that's already super sus. So he goes on stage and he doesn't say anything about that, which Mel gets really mad about. And then like Mel goes into this like whole conversation with him about how like, you know, Jace, you should probably start meddling in like politics now. And he's like, you mean like be corrupt as fuck? And she's like, yeah, but let's not use the word corrupt because that's not very posh of us, right? So like already you start understanding where Mel stands with all of it. Like, you clearly can tell that like Mel is not a good person. Mel is not a sweetheart. Mel is not like mommy dearest that is like there to really make Piltover great and like help people. No, she wants to make money. Then the moment that she points out that like she's not really a Medarda because the family doesn't really want her there, that's what really starts like raising the red flags of like, why isn't she a Medarda? What happened? And then we get a confirmation that Mel, there was a screen cap, there was a screen shot where in game where it said that Mel's mom is actually a Noxian warlord. So we know that Mel is technically of Noxian origin. Yeah, the game literally spoiled Arcane for sure. So then like after, you know, after the whole thing of her and Jace smashing in like in the second episodes, we see her actually paint Noxus. And on top of that, do you guys remember how I pointed out like the Raven when I was reacting to the first trailer with Jinx in it? So the ravens that kept showing up, we've seen this exact same Raven in the second part. I think it was like the second episode or the third episode, but I think it was the third episode. Yeah, when we saw a Raven for a second time, and that Raven had a lot more screen time, and I think that Raven kind of like wanted to steal it, or maybe it was just like, you know, keeping an eye. So yeah, all of those, like, you know, all of this is like starts like closing in together, and we basically all realize that Mel is a Noxian and she played Jace. So it is absolutely beautiful. Like, absolutely beautiful, majestic. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who say that Mel be part of the Black Rose, but I don't think it's necessarily a Black Rose thing, because we do know that there are Noxian War Masons. If you guys are new to Noxian War Masons, they're basically like secret agents. And there was a story called Progress Day, and we basically had this like whole story about these three students, like Piltovian students, and how they went to present to the houses, so the houses would come and patronage for them. And the one who managed to get in was like the best out of the three, and she was also a War Mason. So we do know that there was a War Mason on the inside years, like, you know, years back. I don't know whether or not it's Mel. No, probably no, she had a different name. But like, maybe like they have some sort of connection. I think personally that it would be really, really cool if that's the case. Also, let me go over your super chats real quick. I need a Vi and Kate kiss by the end of this. Yeah, I would love to see that. Do you think Vander is Warwick? I personally think no, since it details Warwick as being alive during the experiment, but it seems to... No! Warwick wasn't alive during the experiment. Warwick died. I just posted it in my new video. Warwick died, and Singe discarded of the body, and Warwick came back to life. Warwick was a failed experiment that came back to life to hunt Singed down and everything around him. So, the fact that Vander technically died is like, can be like also him just passing out, or him really dying, and then he might be dragged by Singed, who would put him into one of his fucking capsules and turn him into whatever the fuck poor little pink Pokemon was there. So yeah, also the fact that we see a lot of Singed really hints heavily at the fact that we are going to see Vander, probably. Keep that in mind, because like I thought Singed is already dead, but clearly he's not dead. He's still alive, and he's still playing around fucking God with all of these fucking creatures. So why wouldn't he use Vander as a human experiment? You know? Is Ekko the Fireflight leader? He seemed to vanish after Act 1. Yeah, I think so. Because in Legends of Runeterra, he's friends with all of the like air surfers. And I can't really imagine it being anyone else unless they want to like kind of like drag it to Act 3 and then use that as like a shock factor or like a cliffhanger of some sort. So it's most likely is Ekko, but it also might not be Ekko. I'm looking at like a 50-50 here. Let the puppies bark. Peeps be hating on what they don't understand or they don't want to understand. Live your life the way you want. It's short anyway. Aw, nicely said, 𝗕𝙬𝙬. Thank you. Honestly, want Mel to be part of the Black Rose just so we can see LeBlanc at the end of the season. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that Mel, it might actually be LeBlanc, which is like a really interesting theory, but I don't know how to feel about it, because it's not really LeBlanc behavior, and also like the crow, like the raven showing up that many times. I think it's more of a Noxian thing than a Black Rose thing. Like Noxus has their own reason to like infiltrate Piltover because of their, you know, shipment business. So yeah, I don't think it's LeBlanc. How do you feel about Jace canceling 𝗲𝗻𝘃, even though he sort of did it for— oh my god, Matt. Bro, when I tell you, I was punching the air. I was literally screaming. I was so mad. I understand why he did it, because Donger is kind of like trying to get in their way. And also like the way Donger went about like Victor's situation was like super insensitive. Like Victor was like, he came up to Victor and he's like, hey, I heard you have like, magic cancer. Yeah, that's too bad. Anyway, so like it was just what? That's all you have to offer, bro? With 300 years of knowledge? What the fuck are you talking about? And like I don't understand that. Like Donger should like should probably say a little bit more. Maybe like, I don't know, give him a tip over like where he should go. Maybe there is someone who can cure him. Like, no, oh yes, the youngest, brightest minds like burn out the first. And it's like, oh, thanks, bro. Thanks, my man. Thanks, my dude. You are like, your support is needed. Yes, so I do understand why Jace had done what he did. But it's fucked up. It's just fucked up. The fact that he literally used the politics, the influence. He got Mel's vote because he literally fucked her like the day before and he needed that vote because this motherfucker has been planning this. Like, he's been planning this. He went for it. Oh my god, it broke me. Seeing Donger absolutely like broken, being the founder, you know, like building Piltover from the ground up. I do agree with him on one thing though, which is that him running Piltover is one thing, but the fact that the Shimmer has been created and been like running rampant in Zaun is kind of fucked up, because you should have known about this. You should have taken control of this. You should have like, you know? So the fact that Zaun got fucked over with Donger being in charge is a fact. And I do understand it. I do understand his position. But the way he went about it was really fucked up. Super fucked up. Yeah. Because he knew that he will get in their way. And that Victor won't be able to do anything. But also at the same time, it's like, if you know that something bad is gonna happen if they're gonna use this like arcane power, then like how about you try and offer them something else? Like you've said that you've seen their, like, you know, you've seen it, it's really bad, it's never good, and it's like, okay, that's great, but like you should give us like a better option then. Like if you're just gonna sit there and tell us that like this is a bad idea, well, so is dying, dude. So like, I don't know, being the 300 plus genius that you are, you should probably give us like something more than that. All of it to get like all of it just, it was just really messy. It was really messy. I really didn't like the way that they went about it, and I honestly don't know how to feel about the direction we're taking here. Like, the first act was remarkable and I loved all the episodes, but here it's like, again, everything was great, the fighting sequences were absolutely fucking insane, like the whole parkour scene with Vi, chef's kiss, but like, with all this like politics thing, and it's not like the good type of politics, right? Like, there's like something going on here, like something weird is going on here, and I don't know how to feel about it, especially at the end of the fucking series, which is Victor going to 𝗫𝙬𝙧𝙀. Why? Why is Victor going to 𝗫𝙬𝙧𝙀? Like, I understand it, you're desperate, but like, can we like not? Because like technically, like even in the lore itself, Victor and 𝗫𝙬𝙀 never met one another. They literally have 0 interactions. So how the hell did we end up with like Victor and 𝗫𝙬𝙀 working together? And that's also what pissed me off the most about all of this, is that Jace was so busy playing chess, right, with all of these fucking people, with all of these politicians, with like everything, that he neglected Victor. You neglected Victor. You knew what situation Victor was in. You knew how desperate he was. He was like literally not getting away from like the arcane Rubik's Cube. And when he asked him, is it safe? Victor told him, of course not. Like, you see that something is going on, but you're not doing anything. And now it came to the point where Victor is so desperate that he's going to 𝗫𝙬𝙀. And I don't want to, like, I don't know how to feel about it. I really don't know how to feel about it. Yeah. More money since I was wrong. Thank for the theory though. Trevor, thank you. I think 𝗬𝗲𝗏 is more scared of what people will use the arcane magic for. He has seen humans and what their ambitions and greed can lead to. Yes, but he's also not going the right way about it, because he's expecting that through pretty words is going to change all that greed. Like, you're not going to stand on your like tiny little feet and give them a speech and it's gonna change everything. You've been in Piltover for how long, and you've allowed this to bloom into the shitfest it is now. Like, you cannot trust anyone within your own group, like within your own council. And it's kind of on you, dude. Like, I understand the part of being scared, but you're not doing anything smart to stop it. And as like a 300-year-old genius, you should probably know how to play this better. This is why it's so weird. They kind of like 𝗏𝗏𝗏 as like this mascot of cuteness with his little monocle poro. Like, he doesn't really give off genius vibes. Like, yeah, it's just weird. Oh, Chris, thank you so much appreciated. That's a big dono, sir, you didn't have to. I feel like seeing the way Jace was corrupted and probably experiments 𝗫𝙬𝙀 will conduct on Warwick will be the main catalyst for him turning into this emotionless, only rational being. Yeah, the thing is that, like, Jace already made his mind, right? He is willing to play the politics game. He wants to have the influence and the power because he realizes that this is the only way that he will have the freedom to continue fucking around with Arcane shit. But with what will happen to Victor and what will happen to Warwick, I definitely do agree that something will like totally affect him, especially because we've already seen it in the teaser that Jace and Vi are going to be fighting side by side, right? So they're probably going to try and get Victor. Vi is trying to get to Jinx. Yeah, but by the way, we haven't really spoken about Jinx today. Besides the fact that she's like a 10 out of 10 Harley Quinn, like. I honestly, like, every time I've seen her on screen, I couldn't stop thinking about her being Harley. Like, it was very Harley. Like she was giving off like Mad Harley vibes, and like 𝗏𝘂𝗃 was like, I mean, yes, he's here her parent figure, like he's practically her dad, but like he kind of like gave off chill Joker vibes. Yeah. Like not like a different comic Joker, because like Joker has a different like demeanor in different comic books. So like, yeah, it was kind of giving off of that vibe. But the schizophrenia part of Jinx was like hella creepy and so well done. The fact that she literally talks to Milo and Claggor, and it's just, it broke me. Also, that whole part with like 𝗏𝘂𝗃 baptizing her, like the fuck was that about? What was that? Yeah, but it's really good. It's really good. I like that. I like that specific part. The fact that she's extremely insane. The fact that she does deal a lot of damage to their plans because she's unstable. The fact that his workers call her out on it, and they tell that to 𝗏𝘂𝗃, and 𝗏𝘂𝗃 himself is aware of it. Like that last scene where like she took out the flare to like find Vi, like, oh my god, and Vi for the first time saw how insane she actually is, how she like is just gone, kind of. But she's not fully gone, that's the thing. She's not fully gone. She's gone because she has been raised in a way where she got away with everything and doing whatever the fuck she wanted and solving everything with violence. Because it's not Vander raising her. So yeah, it was really intense. Another thing that I wanted to point out was that one scene. It was with Vi, also with Vi and Jinx. Oh, sorry, no. Jinx stabilizing the crystal. Making like a bootlegged something invention mechanism to control the frigging thing. That literally blew my mind. Like, she's insane, but she's a genius. It's what? How? You know, like Jace and Victor like working for day, like for, well, because technically it was like a night, but he already had like a prototype. And, like, they're making all, like, using all this like mechanisms and everything, and like making their own thing, and then like there's Jinx building her own thing and throwing herself into a PTSD, and then finishes it. And then gives it to 𝗏𝘂𝗃. It's just, it's intense. It shows a lot. And like, I like the contrast of it, because it's just like, you know, with Ekko. Ekko's story is very similar, because he found a crystal and then he started like playing around, fucking around, and you know, he made his own thing, and the only reason why he's not going to Piltover is because he doesn't want to be part of Piltover, because he believes that 𝗤𝘂 has great potential. His parents don't share the same views with him, but that's because his parents want the best for their own son. But like Ekko is very much like it, which is why the relationship between Ekko and Jinx is so precious because both of them are like tiny inventors. And they managed to do many amazing things out of nothing. And basically still keeping up with the intelligence of 𝗵𝘳𝗪𝙀, basically. Like scientific breakthroughs. Still better than Twilight? Can we talk about, can we just talk about how Silco keeps on surviving explosion after explosion? Like, what the fuck is going on with that? Probably something to do with him microdosing with Shimmer. Yeah, the whole microdosing Shimmer thing is like, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, I know this is like, again, a PG-16 series, but like, it is very, very graphic. Like, very. I honestly don't know how they got away with it being PG-16. Yeah. Jinx basically giving hits to her own dad in his office. And then like the whole like crack addict camp in the bottom of the sumps with all those people who overdosed on Shimmer, like, dude, that is so fucked up. Like, honestly, it's so fucked up. I did not expect to see any of that kind of stuff in there. Like, that is insane. That's insane. Damn. And like, it took me a moment to realize who it was, you know? Like, at first he was like talking to her and he's like, yeah, I'm an old friend of hers. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? And then I recognized him because of the glasses. Man. It was so fucked. And there's like a whole camp of them. And Silco is aware of that camp, which makes it even worse. I also hope that like nothing is gonna happen to Vi, because there was like a small dose of Shimmer that lady monster thing added to the concoction when she gave it to her, you know? I really hope that that's not going to affect Vi in any way. The Gimp suit Yordle. Yo, the Gimp suit Yordle was 10 out of 10. If I was a Yordle, that would have been me. Period. That's definitely Jin's best friend. Because technically Jin is also walking around in a Gimp suit. Yeah. If you guys didn't know that. He's walking around in a Gimp suit. All those like pretty clothes he has on top of it? Yeah, no. Underneath it all, there's a Gimp suit. And it's slimy. So he kind of like slides in. And then like he puts on the mask and it restricts his breathing and he's loving it. Yeah, Jin is kinky. Whole camp of leprosy looking crack addicts. Did you peep the lamb and a wolf mask in the brothel? Yes, 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 yes. That was so good. I was like pointing at it and screaming, and it also is kind of weird. It's kind of weird to see it in a brothel. Like, what does it mean? People are dying here? Like, what kind of kink is that? To paraphrase Obi-Wan Kenobi on those Twitter comments, I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in butthurt and were suddenly silenced, banned. Yes, that's precisely exactly what happened. Yes. People don't understand that, like, if you're going to be rude to me, I don't want you to be part of my community. Like, I don't, like, behaving like a decent human being is like, I don't know, is a thing. So if you're not gonna do that and you're going to be rude to me and my community, you're not going to be part of this community, period. I will ban you. I don't care. The fact that gods of death already got referenced, but the god of Zon didn't get mentioned. So here's the thing, Raya. I think that Urgot wasn't there. Urgot wasn't in Zon yet. I think around that time Urgot was still in Noxus. Because if you remember, Swain kicked Sion. He kicked Urgot. Urgot was dragged to Zon. They were supposed to kill him. He survived. And then he started like turning himself into a Krabby Patty. And then he started growing his followers. And that happened already long after Vi was already part of the enforcer team in Piltover. So I don't think Urgot was created. And that would be a really good reason why. What I don't understand is why we haven't seen Camille yet. Where the fuck is Camille in all of this? Where is she? Where the fuck is Camille? She's the one who provided everyone with the crystals. She's the one who owns them. Her aunt was the one who brought them to Piltover. So like, where the fuck is Camille? Camille's lore breathed life into the crystals. Like it was all about Clan Pharaoh, so where the fuck is she? Especially when like things like this are happening, when you have like an uprising and like people are trying to steal like the crystals and everything. Camille should be there with her ops. Yeah. Like it's not, like Caitlyn is not there yet. Camille is like really, really old. Caitlyn is not the captain yet. Mel is Camille's spokesperson. I don't think Camille would want to work with Zon. I doubt that. Well, I mean, no. She really does like to do business. She just wants her family to be on top. So like, I don't see a reason why she wouldn't want that. But then at the same time, I do understand why she wouldn't want that, because you can't really trust Noxus with anything. Noxus is a double-edged sword. Like, you don't want to do business with Noxians. For you to be doing business with Noxians, you need to know exactly what you're doing, and you need to be aware of all the issues and that you'll have to deal with afterwards. So working with a Noxian group, like, or warlord or anyone would probably be quite the issue in the long run. Camille was the character that introduced the Hexite lore in canon, and she's nowhere to be seen. Exactly, that's why it's so weird. Like, we see Mel, but where's Camille? Where the fuck is Camille? Was 𝗲𝗲𝗻 there for the Rune Wars? No, he wasn't. The Rune Wars happened like years before, and 𝗲𝗲𝗻 mentioned that he's only 300 years old. When were the Rune Wars anyway? Let's pull out my book. The exact date of the Rune Wars. There it is. There's a timeline. No, that was Noxus's timeline, so we need... It's a Noxian timeline. I need to know the 𝗲𝗲𝗻, because they kind of like ran away to 𝗲𝗲𝗻 afterwards. Or not. Okay. Okay, let's see. Timeline of Runeterra. There it is. So the first land, second attack happened 9,000. Word of the Three Sisters, the westward migration 6,000 years ago, the rise of the god warriors, 𝗬𝗏𝗽𝗪 rebels, Azir's failed ascension, the Great Arcane War, the Ruination, the Rune Wars. So technically, wait, how old? What did he say he was? He was 300 and something. He might actually have been a child when that happened. $307? 307. $307. No, I don't think he was born yet. Because in 292, it was like basically already 21 years after. So 25 years after the Rune Wars. But he could have most likely experience what it was like to deal with the Rune Wars. And if you guys remember, after the Rune Wars, there were still people who had runes, and Rise went and collected them. So he still definitely has, it's like he had seen what happened if somebody had a rune. Because the Demacian crown was created in 292. Yeah, Noxus became an imperial power in 349. It was in 772 that Piltover was destroyed. Zun was destroyed because of the sun gates. 772 from the construction of Piltover. So how old was he when he constructed Piltover, I wonder? So yeah, he was quite far away from the Rune Wars. Like at least several decades, that's for sure. Millennias. Yeah. Dunker, arcane magic is dangerous. Don't use it. Also, 𝗬𝗪 using arcane comet rune and Rabadon in his build. Yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah. Or the fact that you can see all of his really weird inventions in Legends of Runeterra. Piltover is 200 years old if he's 307. Yeah, but we don't know what year we're looking at right now. That's the thing, we don't know what year it is in Piltover. If we had known what year it is in Piltover, we could have made the connection. But I don't know how many years has it been since the construction of Piltover. Dongar was 107 when the Sungate project started. Okay, that's good. That's sick. Yeah, so no, he wasn't there. He was definitely not there for the Rune Wars, but he had probably seen some people using arcane, not arcane, like runes, but like actual magic runes, the same runes that Rise is trying to collect. If Warwick is Vander, he is. Do you think he'll end up killing Silco as some sort of poetic justice, like finishing what he started? I have a feeling like they're kind of like, yeah. Yeah. I would want to say that they would like kill each other, but that's obviously not it. But he would definitely will do it. The thing with Warwick, if you really notice, in his voice lines, on one end he's like this beast, but on the other end he's like, no, please get away from me. Like, I don't want to hurt you. Here, let me, if you guys never played Warwick, let me show it to you. So first we have this one. What?
The beast is free.
So the chains are broken, the beast is free, right? So it's like, what chains were broken that you're free? Like, what happened there? The beast grows stronger, run while you can. And it's like,
Run while you can.
the place is familiar, I'm in control. Zan will watch you bleed and it will do nothing, which is true. You know what you've done? You made the monster. The city is haunted ground. Try to hide. All the blood you've spilled brought me here. And I was on straight like the back of my claws. Do-do-do-do-do. The man I was, I killed him first. Yikes.
Can't save you all. Don't want to.
So it's like he kind of like battles himself, like because at first he wanted to save them all, but now I can't save you all. Like he understands that. He's like, and then he says, don't want to. So yeah. Yeah.
Pain. Nothing.
Well. He said something. Let's see.
Can't outrun your mistakes.
We know this.
I remember what you did. Zon gave me claws long before you did.
We know that. So, it's not a bad base you should be afraid of. Oh, yeah.
The killing stops when Zon is free.
But like, is he gonna stop when Zon is free? Like now he's basically killing anyone who's like in Zon and basically in Zon's way. So he doesn't want to protect anyone in Zon, but at the same time, he wants to kill anyone who wants to bring Zon harm. So like he's clearly like not in his right mind.
I became monster. What have you done? Can't save you.
There we go. They can't save you. So the blood hunt, it's when he goes into like the red mode and start like hunting around the map in the game, right? He starts like running towards anyone who like is about like he's really, really low in health. So can't save you. All his anger. What have you done? So it's like someone basically, like it's like someone cranked up his thing. You know? So us, the players, basically crank up his rage for him to like go and after somebody else. Shimmer side effects may turn Delphs into furries. So here's the thing about Shimmer. Like, yes, he had been like overdosed on Shimmer. But I don't think we will see him like in Shimmer form in the series. Like they might bring him back and like pump him full of Shimmer, but he's still going to have, because like where does the green liquid come from? That's what I want to know. So like the Shimmer might actually come from the Pokemon that Singed have been fucking experimenting on for how many years. So like the flowers that he's been feeding to the creature, and maybe the blood or whatever that he's been extracting from the creature is what Shimmer is. So maybe by, I don't know, doing experiments with the Shimmer, he had made a safer or like cleaner version of it that now basically powers everyone else. Because if you notice, it's not just a Warwick who's like with like this green liquid. Again, it's not just Warwick that is powered by the green liquid. There are many others who are powered by this green liquid as well, like in the future. So like we can see 𝗬𝘀𝗽𝗏, we see Twitch running around with like his own toxic stuff. A lot of people in Zon, like especially Cam Barons, are powered by it. So what is it? And where did it come from? Because clearly it was all Singed's inventions, you know? Highly unlikely, but imagine Vi kills Warwick in the finale only to recognize the Vander in him. I wouldn't say that it's unlikely. She would want to release him, but then again, he can't be killed. That's the thing about Warwick. It's Chemtech, probably comes from Singed and Victor working together. Yeah, so like, the thing is, like, in the lore, we don't really learn much about Chemtech. But where did it come from afterwards? Because right now, everyone's powered on Shimmer. Everyone uses Shimmer to power their augmentations. So, maybe we'll learn where that came from afterwards. Because now we can see the creature being, like, kept in this, like, green solution. Maybe that green solution is later on what they're going to be using. There is the dude of one of the fireflies with bat ears and claws that look like Warwick? No, I wouldn't say that it looks like Warwick. He looks more like a rat than anything. When it comes to Ekko, we haven't really seen him, so I assume that he's part of the Fireflies. I mean, they wouldn't have just shown him for no reason. He will have to play some part in all of this. Was Victor communicating with the Void? Nope. No. Yeah, I did talk about 𝗬𝗪𝘵. They seem to imply that Camille's is related to Kate's family. Yeah, Caitlyn's parents, they work for Camille, but we haven't seen Camille yet, which is kind of weird, because we should. Right is coming of my favorite mythic item, Turbo Cam Tank. Right, yes, they showed it. They did, in the art, and everything. Where is Janna? We won't see Janna. Janna is like an Aditi. It's kind of like how we saw the lamb mask in the brothel, but we're not really going to see Kindred. So same thing goes for Janna. We're not gonna see her. But why Ekko uses a hoverboard? Why not? It's totally up to Ekko's standards to be using a hoverboard to move around. Also, he's friends with them in Legends of Runeterra. If we go to Legends of Runeterra, and we go to oh, damn it. I'll have to like look at it. Yeah, the aeronauts, but like there's that one specific card. There it is. Job orders. So I got some workers, which are really similar mask-wise. Here, if I open it up. So the mask of the sump workers is really similar to what the dude had when he was flying around with the other Fireflies, and there they are. And Ekko is like their friend, so it would make sense that he would use it with them. 𝗬𝗪 inconsiderate behavior and the way he acted when he saw Victor's development of organic side of 𝗬𝗪cie makes it very sus. I feel like this show is tricking the viewer with his innocent look. No, I don't think that he had done something like that. In general, Yordles are like very, like they're trying to stay away from human business for obvious reasons, because humans are never a good thing to be dealing with. That's why they never reached the Bendel town, and they will never will. But I think this whole story, I hope that that's what's going to like push it towards, what do you call it? Shimmer? Not Shimmer. Glamour. Like this will actually make Donger want to create the concoction, so they won't have, so like they will be able to like stay in Piltover but not deal with anyone in it, so like nobody would be able to recognize them. Let's be real, just to see Mama Camille. Yeah, I wish we could see Camille. Camille would have been such an amazing thing. All Yordles hide because they want none of the Pilt-Zon nonsense. Not just Piltover and Zon, just like the world of Runeterra as a whole. They stay away from it for a reason. Besides like maybe some of them like Kled and Poppy. We saw a drawing of Teemo in Marcus's daughter's room. Where could that little devil be? That's what I find really, really cool. The fact that Teemo is considered to be just like a child's tale. Like he's just like something in people's imagination. Even though like he does go to Zon a lot to buy his shit. It's really funny. I find it really funny. Also, fuck Marcus, dude. My god. Oh my god, I hate Marcus so much. I hate Marcus so much. Greedy motherfucker. Do you think the next act will end with cliffhanger to tease the second season? 100%, yeah. Definitely. They already said that they're working on a second season. Well, they didn't say they're working on it, but they said that there will be a second season. And honestly, with the amount of hype they put on like the first season and like the fact that it's like at #1, just like destroyed all the charts, took the first place by storm. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more seasons. I think the second season is going to be about Noxus. I have a strong feeling we're gonna have second season Noxus. Since we're already being hinted at Noxus. Yeah. Can't wait. Oh my god. Imagine a whole series about Noxus, I'm gonna die. Please not another 6 years for a second season. No, I don't think it's going to be 6 years, but it will take time unless they've already been working on it. Which I doubt, like, they literally just finished the first season, but it will take probably a year or two. Kind of like Castlevania. Marcus kind of saved Vi's life though, because his orders were to kill her, right? Yeah. 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 But he's still a piece of shit. He's a greedy bastard. It doesn't change the fact that he's a greedy bastard. Do you think Kate's family will be killed by the end of Act 3? No. No. In the lore, they've never been killed. I don't see a reason why they would be killed now. But then again, like, I'll tell you what, Arcane is taking a different route than the actual lore. Like I mentioned in the video that I made, which by the way, I really hope you liked, they're like taking it in a completely different direction. Like there's no 𝗲𝘂𝗍 in the world of Runeterra. Jace have never worked with anyone else and became a counselor. Jace have been given the crystals. He didn't research them, like, because he was a child and it saved his mother. It was just given to him when he was already a university student. And he studied these crystals in solitude. The only interaction he had with Victor was because, like, in the university, and because, like, they worked on one project together. Like, and that already broke them apart because he became, like, a really massive douche. So it's like, it's kind of like how they do it with other series, and like when it comes to TV, you'll have the book and then they'll be like taking a different route from the book. They'll just give you a different story, kind of like how they did with Game of Thrones. So I think that what they were doing here, I don't think I'm a fan of it. I don't like the whole idea of Victor meeting Singed, and Singed is going to like cooperate with Victor, and they basically make Victor into like what he is, and that like because Victor is so desperate to survive whatever illness that he has, that he is now willing to cooperate with Singed, when in reality Victor had decided to go through like full fucking body augmentation because he was depressed, because all of his life research and everything was taken away from him, and Jace wasn't willing to stand up for him, and instead like threw him under the bus and had him cancelled. So, you know, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. No. Making Victor into this like sick, weak child from Zaun is just, it's weird. What do you think would happen to Marcus by the end of the season? Marcus would probably want to cooperate with the rest of the team to take Silco down. And he might actually sacrifice himself to save Jinx or Vi. Anyone, really? Victor created Blitz, yeah. Yeah. The Raven in the last episode, Swain? Yeah, so I've been talking about Noxus and how it has like a massive, how it's going to have a massive impact in the next act. I think it will save Kate, to be honest. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. Yeah. But yeah, Marcus is definitely dead. He's gonna sacrifice himself. I really fucking hope so. God, I hope he dies. Ugh, I hate him so much. Act 3, Kate's family dead for sure. I don't see a reason why Kate's family will have to die in it. Ravens were in every episode. For first episode have one on the Chem Baron, still shot. Second had it with Jinx shooting it, and third had it on that raised platform when Jinx did the flare. Yeah. Yeah. Also, why would Jinx shoot the Raven? I think like Jinx can like sense some specific things, and she felt like something was off, and that's why she decided to kill the Raven. Like she wouldn't have any other, like, I mean she could because she's insane, but at the same time I don't think she just killed the Raven. I think she saw something. If they're going to use Victor as a villain, they might have changed his story to avoid villainizing psychological issues and focusing more on the desperation, hopelessness angle. Yeah, that's what they're doing. But then you have Jace, who literally tried to commit suicide in the first, like, second episode, and then pushed through and decided to become this scientist. Yeah, Layla, good morning! Yes, it is 6 a.m. for me. Hello. The head tilt before the shot. Exactly, Cash. Exactly. Yes. When she looked at it, and then she did a head tilt, it was like, huh. And then she shot it, you know? She didn't just like, like, there was more to it. There was more to it. That's what I'm saying. Hi, Orlix, good night. What's Ekko's part in the story? Why did he form the Fireflight? Is he trying to create the time rewind thingy? Will he use the gemstone since they stole it from Jinx? I don't know if it's Ekko. Like, it could be, but it also could also not be. Chances are that it really is him, since he's friends with the drop boarders, which are basically the Fireflights. But also the fact that they're trying to protect Piltover. He's like kind of like taking over Vander's job. Because, like, they knew what Jinx was doing. They were going after Jinx. They wanted to protect Piltover during Progress Day. So, I mean, it would make sense if Ekko would decide to protect and basically become like the protector of everyone. And like try to keep the peace between the two. Skyn mentioned that it was because she got annoyed that she was startled by a bird after her past and trying to be a strong woman now. I guess that's also a good point. But I think she saw more to it. She sees things that normal people can't see. So I think she saw more to it. If the leader is Ekko, who's gonna be the new kinetic zone ADC? Man, we don't know if that's who's gonna be though. Like in the past, they've hinted at so many champions before, and then it was like a completely different thing from what we've seen, so I'm really not getting my hopes up. I'm not trying to theorize what the champion is gonna be like. Just gonna wait and see. Did you guys came to the conclusion that Victor's blood got stained with the corruption of the void because of Zaun? What? The void is in Shurima. The void didn't reach Zon. Nor does Victor have any connection to the void. The scene looked very voidy. You mean like the inside of it? Nah, I didn't see it. Some people are convinced that Shimmer is void because purple. I mean, we've kind of seen where the Shimmer is probably coming from, and it's that creature, that mutation that Singed created. The void is reaching Pilzon and the Malfloor. Yeah, but when did that happen? This is like literally right after the construction of Piltover and Zon. It's 200-year-old Piltover Zon, so it really depends. The cave is contaminated with toxic waste. Just look at the river, hence those flowers, and the creature are mutations. Well, the creature wasn't a mutation when he was found. Singed mutated it. And the flowers that are growing on the inside could literally be also from anything. Like that water is contaminated with how many things? Do you think Mel can be LeBlanc? Because of the amount of ravens in the episode? No. It's a Noxian thing for sure, but I wouldn't say that it's LeBlanc. Did I like episode 5? Kinda? I'm like, I don't know, the episodes weren't as effective, I think, as the first act. I mean, the first act was a lot more hypey than the second one. Like, they still have like really great fighting sequences and everything, but something about it was just like not it. I don't know. Act 2 was all hype for Act 3. Yeah, basically. Mel can be member of the Black Rose. She could. But I don't think she does all of that for LeBlanc. She might also be just a war mason. Because her mom is a warlord. Was it explained what it is that weighs so heavy on 𝗬𝗪 about magic? Like what they reference in the pictures? Nope. Nope. We can only connect it to like the Rune Wars or anyone else using it. Like we still don't know who's the person who saved Jace. Still didn't get there. So we'll just have to wait and see. The music in Act 2 was insane, especially the violins. There were so many violins in Act 2, and I loved it. I loved the connection they made between them. It did look like the Rune Wars, but then again, like, the Rune Wars was two sides holding runes and fighting one another. That was the Rune Wars. It's not like in the Rune Wars you had like only one nation that had runes and then like decided to destroy everyone. It's because too many people were holding onto really, really strong runes, and because the rune, it just makes you become greedy for more power, you want to have more runes. So that's why the rune wars started. Some people already said that the violinist is actually Jin. And it's like, he's just Asian. Why would that be Jin? What? Some people in Ireland and Scandinavia still have actual runestones. Yes. Some Slavs will also have runes. We even use them as a form of fortune telling. My theory is that 𝗬𝗪's vision is Xerath Ascension. Yeah, Bruno, so like I was thinking about it as well. But it didn't look like Xerath, that's the thing. And it also didn't look like Shurima. Because the whole story with Xerath was that Azir was supposed to ascend and then he pushed him away. And, well, didn't really ascend because he's a Buckeye, but still. Yeah. So it wasn't him. But it had to be someone who had a rune of some sort. I feel like Donger would make a better argument if he explained why people might not use freaking laser beam and gauntlets and let men lift and crush a rock with one hand for mining. Yeah, Xerath's Ascension was years ago. It was way before the Rune Wars as well. And Donger wasn't alive then. No, Twitches is just a rat. Oh, Andre, that's really cool. Could it be possible that somehow 𝗬𝗏 is the one actually manipulating the events so that they could conquer Runeterra? I wouldn't say conquer Runeterra, but I would say take over Piltover. They would want that. They would want, like Noxus would want Piltover and Zaun. Definitely. Because that puts them in a really good strategic position. Besides the shipment, of course, of the goods, they can take over 𝗬𝗪cie a lot easier that way. Because you have them, and then you have Noxus, and then they can basically come from both sides at 𝗬𝗪cie. And the only choice they have is basically running up into the Freljords, or trying to get away to Ionia. Yeah, here, I'll show you the map. So like, oh wait, no, 𝗬𝗪cie is on this side. Silly me. No, I mistook it. Sorry, I forgot. It was two other sides. I'm tired. Sorry. Yeah, no, Noxus is on this side, 𝗬𝗪cie is on this side. I don't remember, why did I think it was the other way around? Ah, because of the Delve World, that's why. Right. Right. Because they have Delve World right here. But yeah, if they have that, they already have a spot in Shurima, right? They have Biljun, so connecting this entire area would be insane for them. And honestly, they could. If Noxus comes from here, and like, they obviously come from here as well. They're not gonna reach Ixtal. Yeah, that would be actually pretty neat. I find it hilarious the idea of Demacia going to Ionia. Wow. Yeah, imagine going into a land that is just magic. Would love to see that. Piltover has 0 chance to win a war against Noxus. Yeah, no, they don't have any chance. At all. Like, what are they gonna do? Bringing, like, their little cute officers and their cute little skirts? Which, by the way, is like, ugh. Why are the females wearing dresses? Why are the female officers wearing dresses? Why? Why did we thought it was a good idea? Oh yes, Caitlyn, you're just walking around looking for, you know, all this interesting, evidence while walking around in her pretty skirt. What do you think about Riot MMO and what region will you choose? I'm very excited about Riot MMO. I really hope they're going to stick to the lore that they've created over the years to build this MMO. And I think it's obvious what region I'll be in. I think they were trying to go for a steampunk weirdness look, and it comes off as weird. I mean, you can still be in steampunk clothing without wearing a skirt. They don't look like officers. They look like they're in a band camp. Like, legit. They look like they're like part of a band. What do you call them? Like, they play in, like... Yeah, see? Like, they don't look like they're fighting crimes. They look like they're about to, like, start playing pretty songs. And even they're wearing pants. There is never a good explanation to not give a woman with a job that requires them to be in the field a pair of pants. I would never understand that. I would never understand that choice. It's like, here's a police officer wearing a skirt, fighting crimes in a skirt. Living out Noxus, what would you pick for Arcane Season 2? Shurima. Going into the whole, Skarner route. Definitely. Marcus made female policemen with skirts because Grayson didn't have that. Kate will abolish skirts, bring back female pants. Yo, I didn't think about that. Wait. Because Marcus is the sheriff, so he's like the one who technically has control of it. Ew, Marcus! Oh my god, you're such a fucking creep. He did it on purpose. Ew. So Jace is trash now, do we all agree? Yes. Yes, we do. I mean, he always has been like, it's not a surprise. It was never a surprise. Jace was always a douchebag. Like, in the lore, he was a douchebag. And I'm glad that he's upholding his part of being a douchebag in Arcane as well. He's not as bad as in the lore, but like, he's still bad. Yeah, like... He was never meant to be a good guy. He wants the attention. He wants the fame. He wants the wealth. And all while running with this like really weird bisexual himbo behavior. Isn't Jace more selfish? Egotistical? I mean, he is doing it for Victor's sake, but the way that he's doing it is sass as fuck. And honestly, he just really likes the attention. Like the very beginning of like the first chapter of Arc 2, you could see that he was like happy with all the attention he was given to because he's an attention whore. Also, can we talk about fucking Caitlyn's parents who are like, oh yes, this is our boy, his name is Jace, like we're patronizing him, yes, like bitch, you literally ghosted him. Like, what is this? What is this two-facedness? Like, ew, disgusting. Are you enjoying the Caitlyn is lesbian is a canon? Oh, yo, we didn't really get to talk about that one. Wow. The way I screamed, you guys, the way I fucking screamed. Johnny was like sitting right next to me. I was like, you know, it just came out of nowhere. Like you're just like sitting there like, oh, are they going to brothel? It's like, okay. And then Vi does like the whole, you know, putting her hands into her pockets and like, and telling her that she's hot, cupcake. Ah! And then she cupidons her to the wall. What? Like, okay. All right, fine. And then she's like, well, you have to like, you know, do your own talk. Like, you know, are you into men? Are you into, like, do you prefer men and do you prefer women? And then, like, 10 minutes after, like, not 10 minutes, but like, a couple of minutes after, you see Caitlyn having the time of her life in a room with another Zani baddie. And Vi just passes by like, oh shit, I didn't expect that one. Like, oh, stop! Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. I screamed so loud. I was holding my pillow and like screaming into it. I was so flustered. Usually when I get extremely flustered, I start screaming. It's like a defense mechanism that I've created over the years. So, yeah. And then there was a part where Caitlyn was like grabbing her face when like she was like treating her. Also, she gave away her gun to save Vi. She was like holding her face and it's like, shh, it's gonna be okay. Ah! Kid. They're so perfect. Those hybrid people, where are they come from? They are Zanies who overdosed on Shimmer. Some of which were like who were like normal human beings. The dude with the glasses and like the growth that he had on his head, that was the same dude that Vander protected in his bar. But without Vander being there to protect him, he wanted to know what it's like to actually be able to scare off others. And he did that by taking Shimmer. And now he's an addict, along with everybody else in there. But taking too much Shimmer causes that. So, yeah. Shimmer is literally meth. Yep. Meth with like bath salts and cocaine. Like all brought in together. And steroids, yeah, yeah. Zon really did drugs without Vander. Yep. Shimmer, Mundo? Yeah. Honestly, I mean, like, Mundo was, they did experiments on Mundo since he was like, I think since he was a child, because he couldn't feel pain. So they just kept doing experiments on him. Until he decided he wants to do his own experiments. Okay. Oh. That was a weird song transition. Vander in Act 3? I hope so. But like, it's not going to be Vander anymore. It's not going to be Vander anymore. It's gonna be like a juiced up Vander or something worse. Dinka, do you know what the potion seller was? Honestly, have no idea. They looked very 𝗵𝘁𝗬𝙪𝙨, to be honest. They had a very 𝗵𝘁𝗬𝙪𝙨 vibe to them. Like a 𝗵𝗂𝘂𝗫𝗎𝑟𝑜s witch. Like a sea witch. That's the vibe they were giving me. 𝗏𝘂𝗫 is literally a gangster mob. Yep. Precisely. I don't think they're �奧𝘂𝗫𝙀. I mean, by the end of the day, all humanoids that have like animalistic something in them is technically �奧𝘂𝗫𝙀, so yeah, at some point somebody decided to fuck a fish, and then that happened. It's weird. The creation of �奧𝘂𝗫𝙀s are weird. Arcane's music is insanely good. Are you ready to see Jinx go insane with the purple stuff? Yeah, no, definitely not. Dinka, what is your reaction when Vi saw the monster powder has become? I was actually happy that they didn't sugarcoat Jinx's situation and that they actually like showed Vi what she had become. It also like kind of like connects to how after that in the interactions in Legends of Runeterra, Jinx says no, sorry, Caitlyn says she's too far gone when she interacts with Jinx. So in that situation, I think like Vi really realizes how bad the situation really is, but she's not gone yet. She's not that gone. Like they might still be able to kind of fix her, but I think in the third arc, we're definitely going to see the fact that it's not gonna happen, and she's gonna probably overdose in Shimmer as well. I have a feeling that 𝗏𝘂𝗫 is gonna do that. I think 𝗏𝘂𝗫 will try to like stabilize her or like just use her as his like final weapon. Yeah. I hope to see Warwick this time, but we didn't see him. We didn't see him at all. But the fact that they keep showing us Singed and what he's doing in his lab means that we might actually see Warwick eventually. Like, we just have to wait, I guess. What the hell is this? Wait a minute. I don't know why did my copyright music decided to okay, there we go. Hopefully it's not gonna jump around anymore. Hello, Ranch, welcome! Did you see the comic thing with Vi and Jinx and the new Legends of Runeterra PvE mode? I uploaded highlights from that actually to my Twitter, so you can go check them out if you want. And I also play it live here, so you can watch the entire live if you want as well. I played the first interaction she had with her. The void isn't magic, right? Well, technically it is, in a way. I mean, you can use it as magic. Malzahar does. Nobody knows what the origin of the void is. We just know that it has been created in the 𝗵𝗵𝗻 War. There are some people that their eye change colors when they're about to do bad stuff. Maybe Jinx will not take the purple stuff, but her personality will change anyhow. No, it's definitely Shimmer. She's definitely high on Shimmer. That would be the only thing that will be able to help her cope with her mental instability. Yeah. Because we've seen that, like, she can't handle her past, and Silica really needs her to, like, get her shit together, so they're gonna, like, maybe microdose her, like he does to himself, to fix his own eye sickness thing, but they might actually have to go with a higher dosage, or, like, basically she'll overdose on it. Is Ezreal way younger than Jinx and Ekko in the story? It said that he was taught about a 𝗬𝗪stick and went to the academy, but not seeing him makes me think he's still way too young. I don't think he still exists in that timeline. I think he comes a lot after. Late after, yeah. Why does Silica do that thing with his eye? He's microdosing to, like, deal with the pain of it. And because he's a lot older now, so maybe, like, his sickness is getting worse. So, yeah. It's pretty fucked up. Is this show canon, by the way? Because if it is, what? No, it's not really canon. They keep retconning a lot of things. I think they're just going to, like, a different route with it. Well, they already did. A lot of the things that happen in the series don't actually happen in the lore. Victor's and Jace's entire relationship doesn't happen. Mel doesn't exist in the world of Runeterra. She was never mentioned before. So, yeah, and that's not how that's not how Jace got to power, and that's not how he found out about the 𝗬𝗪stick. And the fact that he's Firelights is just so weird! Like, where did that come from? How is Jace a Firelights? If Jinx does drink Shimmer, how they're going to justify her body not hulking out? I think they'll have, like, a different solution of Shimmer that they will give to her. Obviously. Or maybe, like, she'll fall into something of Shimmer. Like, something will happen with Shimmer. And her. Parallel universe? Yeah, kind of. Like a Marvel multiverse, but, like, with Arcane, I guess. Canon is up to interpretation. Oh my god, 𝗬𝗪𝗻𝗃. Not Reeve. Jace is not a Firelights. He was probably just crossing some mountains. I mean, you could have your own assumption. I could have my own assumption. It doesn't cancel one another. Do you still like it even though it isn't canon? I mean, of course I do. Like, I get to see all the characters being brought to life, and the animation is incredible, and the music is amazing, and it's a great show. It's a great show, but I'm just not a huge fan of how they're going about it, I guess. Like, I really like the first act. I was okay-ish with the second act. Like, the romance and sexing were, like, excessive. Like, it was so unnecessary in my opinion. Like, what? Because that never happened in the lore. And it's like, the lore is great as it is, without having to, like, make your way to the top through fucking, you know, the powerful people who are in power. Yes, like, no. It was really unnecessary, but I get it. 16-year-olds watching this show, so let's add some sex in it. Woo! While his best friend is dying. Woo! Perfection! I almost think you can enjoy the show more if you don't know anything about the lore. Honestly, yes. A lot of my friends are watching it right now, and they're like asking me questions about the lore, and I'm like, it doesn't happen. And they all ask me the exact same question, if I still enjoy the series, knowing that it's not lore related, and yes, I do. I still have some bits and pieces and like Easter eggs, but I don't know, man. I think the question should actually be like giving to actual mains. Like, if you're a Jace main or if you're a Viktor main, how do you feel about what they're doing to these characters? Because what if now in like the second season they will bring in 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and they'll show Swain, but it's like they're going to completely butcher his character. Like, I think they butchered Viktor. Like, the whole him and like his new story, like, that's not Viktor. That's not how his story went. Jace is more up to the standard, and same goes to everything else besides Dogger, because again, like, I don't know how I feel about the way they had showed him to us, simply because, like, Dogger is supposed to be a genius, but he's acting really out of character for a genius. And the collab with Singed too, like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, you know exactly what Singed is doing. And again, Viktor was never portrayed as a villain in the story, so it's like, why are you doing this? Why are you going to Singed? I'm not a fan of the route they're taking with Viktor. They're kind of ruining Viktor in Arcane, in my opinion. They decided to, like, just put, like, this crippling illness on this poor dude, and now making him desperate enough to go to the guy who literally does experiments on other animals and keeps them alive for shits and gigs. Where in, like, his actual lore, he wants to help people by, you know, using augmentation. So it's like, it's a whole different, like, we're going different routes here. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Viktor only modified himself, or did he did to anyone else? Oh no, he modified other people. And then he kind of like started going far with it. But then with people who were willing to be his subjects, so it's not like he did it without them, like, without their consent. And again, he doesn't use augmentation as an answer for everything. Like, he had that whole short story with him and that little kid, right? that he just gave him something and told him like, yeah, this is gonna make you braver to like, for the little kid to stand up for his bullies. But in reality, Victor never gave him anything. So Victor is a good guy. He's a good guy. And I don't like what they're doing to him. It's not fair. It's not fair for his character. Arcane be like, yes, we are canon. Singed proceeds to create 𝗬𝘁𝗻𝙀. Victor wanted to help people and ask people whether they wanted it or not, like with the story of the child, but lore keeps pushing it, his evil murder robot outdated persona. Yeah, they're like the evil mad Russian scientist thing. Like, fuck off. I'm so over that one. How Camille was created? She decided that she wants to be augmented by her boyfriend. And then her boyfriend augmented her to the point of no return and broke up with her because he was so ashamed of what he had done to his beloved. And Camille is very happy with her situation now. Dinka, do you like Victor's accent though? I mentioned it in the video that I uploaded. He has an accent, which is already a good thing. Am I a fan of the accent? Not really. I'm used to a specific style of his voice, and not having that is kind of like weird. Kind of loses the immersion of it. Yeah. So the British actor did a great job of faking a Slavic voice accent, which is kind of weird. Kind of weird. No. I don't know. Maybe if you want to make a Slavic accent, you bring a Slavic actor in there. It's a pretty dank idea. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. 𝗬𝗪 tried his best, but it wasn't enough. All talk, but no action was his flaw. Exactly. Exactly. Which is really weird because, like, he would take action. He's a type of character who should be taking action. That's how he is, and in the show, he literally didn't do anything. Literally, all he did was warming up his own seat, enjoying classical music, and being adorable. Like, they used him as a mascot. Yeah, bless me. And now it's going to be delayed, but thank you for the blesses as well. Have you checked out dubs of Arcane other than English? No, I haven't. No. Dinka, what did you think of the scene where Jinx fired the flare and 𝗬𝘁𝗽𝗏 running scene was so poetic and beautiful, and the music? Oh my god. That scene was so gorgeous. And also like the fact that they used so many neutral colors as the background and like using them as basically like the color that popped in the screen, like it was so gorgeous. It was such a beautiful scene with like the neon greens and the neon pinks and like everything just like mixes up together, and like the shooting, and it was so pretty full. 𝗬𝗪 is the most brilliant mind amongst the Earl, and in 𝗬𝘀 on, yet he is just there for the tragic face of betrayal scene. Feels disrespectful for his character. Exactly. Exactly. Like, as being the one who founded Piltover and Zaun and being like one of the brightest minds in the world of Runeterra, being reduced to nothing but like, oh yeah, this is the professor. Oh, he's really cute. Oh, look at his little poro with his like monocle and shit. Like 10 out of 10. Like, what? It's kind of like bringing Vhagar into his story, but using him but nothing but like a comic relief, even though like Vhagar's lore is like so freaking tragic. Do you think Powder still loves Vi after she's getting her pink eyes? I don't think she'll remember Vi. No, she will remember Vi, but like she'll be too far gone, like Caitlyn says. Till like she's completely lost it. So is Cupcake hot? Yes. Yes, she is. Oh my god. That one scene when she was like in the purple cami in the hospital. Oh my god. So pretty. I also like her personality. I just like her attitude. I love everything about Caitlyn. She's so awesome. And I also like the fact that they gave her more character. Because like, you know, again, she's like a rich, posh girl from a rich family. There's nothing really much to her besides her being a detective, but it's good. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's like, it's enough to build her character. And they did it really, really well. They did a really good job on it. But yo, that one scene with like Jinx was like turning around and you can see like Milo's distorted head behind her, like, whoa, that was so fucked up. So Imagine Dragons are canon? In a world of Zaun, apparently, yes. When will she get the top hat? Well, technically she takes the top hat from one of her missions. She hunts down this one dude and she takes his hat. Yeah, and puts him in jail, but takes his hat because she likes it. Are we not going to talk about the fact that there is a Kraken under Piltover? Well, not really. But am I surprised if there's going to be something fucked up under Piltover and Zaun? Probably not. They are pretty close to Bilgewater, and we know what is in those waters. Like, specifically here in this area. Like, this, the Guardian Sea, that is full of monsters. So, like, it's just packed with monsters. Look at this entire area. Like, if you click on here, the serpent collars, that's where like they're located, and the serpent collars, they basically like they blow their horns to keep the monsters away. So if the monsters are being kept away, they go back, and it would make sense that they would find their way to Piltover and Zaun from there. So, yeah. I think we're gonna get C in Act 3. I don't think we're gonna get Karina. Maybe. I really hope so. I really want to see Karina. Really, really hope so. Don't know if this have been said or asked, but don't you think that they changed the lore canon a bit for the series? Yeah, they changed it a lot, Jazz. They changed it a lot. And like I've already mentioned before, I'm not a fan of the route they're taking, but it is what it is. I'm still appreciative like with what we're actually getting, but I'm also like very disappointed in that aspect, at least. Sub, how long has the stream been? 2.5 hours now. You think Victor will get full augmented in Act 3? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Maybe they'll show it like as a final thing. A real shame that Urga doesn't fit in the timeline. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, at least it's not the Ruination event, am I right? Yeah. That's a fact. Yes, 100%. Also, people are romanticizing living in Piltover and Zon as if the whole point of the region was corruption and terrible mistreatment of people, especially if they are disabled or poor. I really don't understand why people would want to live in any of these places. Like, it's such bullshit. People are like obsessing over these areas as if like, yeah, I think you've missed the whole point of it. Honestly, it would be a really cool thing to see if like Piltover and Zon become like one nation at some point, and they would like combine the two instead of it being in like forever conflict. Maybe they'll do it in Arcane, probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe like in the future, maybe in the MMO we'll have something like that. What's up with Camille lore? I've seen a lot of talk in the Twitter since Arcane came out. Camille is not there. Camille is just not in Arcane. She still hasn't been shown, and I don't think she will be shown. Even though, like, Camille is literally the one who's connected to the crystals, and she was the one who brought them in to Piltover to begin with. Well, not technically her aunt, but yeah. What region would I prefer to live in? Noxus. At least I know I have a chance there. They don't mention or show all the houses. Yeah, they don't, which is so weird. And like, again, Camille's house is like one of the most important ones. So like, I really don't understand why there's no one from there. Why aren't anyone mentioning fucking Pharos? Why? They're literally the most, like, the richest, the most influential house in there. They mentioned House Ferris in episode 2 for like a second, but like, they didn't really talk about it. None of them are in the council. I think Riot is planning to fix Seraphine's lore and that Camille is there. I mean, Riot should have fixed Seraphine's lore years ago, but like... honestly, you need to like change the entire character for it to actually work. Like, they need to completely retcon half of her lore. The whole like her being a pop star seamstress bullshit thing is like... it's just not, it's not. Like, okay, now that you're watching Arcane, where is Seraphine and all of that? Can you imagine Seraphine coming in her sparkly dress on her hoverboard into Zon to sing for people? They're literally going to beat her up and steal her hoverboard to sell for parts. Like, that's what's gonna happen. So, until they're not gonna actually retcon the whole thing, Seraphine shouldn't be anywhere near this. Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragons look more like characters that can be in League of Legends than Seraphine. Let's just remove Seraphine and add Daniel instead. I've seen a theory about Mel being from Noxus. Oh no, it's confirmed. She is from Noxus. Her mom is a Noxian warlord. Hey Dinka, I'm not too familiar with the lore, especially when they flipped the book, so does speak, and they created a universe, but aren't they working on Arcane since 2013? Maybe that's the diff. They've been working on Arcane. Have they been working on Arcane since 2013? I don't know. I don't think so. I know that they've been working on it for years, but like, not since 2013. But it has been worked on before, like, 𝗬𝘂𝗻's rework, obviously. And like, 6 years, okay. 2015. Right. Because we need to think about like Warwick's, 𝗬𝘂𝗻's and Fiddle's reworks. Because then it would make sense. Like that's when they added the voice lines. So Mel being the richest woman and 𝗤𝘂 is still the poorest among her family. I don't think she's poor among her family. I just think the House of Medarda doesn't accept her for some reason. We don't know why, but they don't accept her. And I think it has something to do with her mom being a Noxian warlord. I think they're not fan of that. Since Ekko release. Okay, there we go. What are my thoughts about Riot's MMORPG? I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited about that. I don't know how long we're going to wait until that actually comes out, but I'm like super hyped. Like, that's going to be... That's all I've wanted for years. Like, really. Since I started really getting into lore, all I've been thinking about is getting an MMO, and now that it's actually happening, it's like one of the most exciting things ever. Mel might be the new support champ? No, it's not Mel. It's definitely 𝗂𝗫𝗃𝗃. I have a whole video on that if you'd like to watch it. She mentioned that her family exiled her. Yeah, they probably exiled her exactly because of that. Because of her mom being a Noxian. Is my humor broken? Oh my god, Nom. If you have ever seen my TikTok For You page, Lord, I hope that you guys never get to experience that. I mean, I used to frequent green text and 4chan, so you can imagine. 𝗤𝘂's patron saint, Zhanna. Yes! Who are the Medardas? The Medardas are those who basically created the Sun Gates and 𝗤𝘂, and are the reasons why Piltover has earned all of its money and had basically built itself the reputation it has today. I have a video that is called Everything You Need to Know About Arcane, so you can go watch it. I have all the details that you need to know about 𝗤𝘂 and Piltover in there, including everything about the Medardas. Knowing Netflix's track record with powerful women of color, I don't think Mel will survive. Graya, no! No! Yo, look, I don't want Mel to really die. I really like her character. She's so good. She's such an amazing character. I really don't want her to die. But then again, like, she's not someone who is in the lore, so they might actually, like, kill her. She's kind of fucked up. I really hope they won't, though. Dinka, do you have any lore info of the Fireflies? I mean, I'm pretty sure that they are the drop boarders from lore. And they're all friends with Ekko. So, yeah. Might just betray Jace and return to Noxus. She could. She could. I still don't get her motives. Money? She already has it. Science? She doesn't look like a scientist. Power? Already has it. Well, she doesn't really have true power. She still has to depend on her council. And I think it's not her plan. I think it's a 𝗏𝗂𝗧 plan. I think it's her mother that is pulling the strings here, not her. Because her mom is a 𝗏𝗂𝗧 war mason, and Noxus would want to have Piltover for themselves, and Mel assisting in it is probably a great story. By the way, that 𝗏𝗪𝗻 always flashbacks to 𝗏𝗏𝗽𝗏 destruction. Donker wasn't alive during the 𝗏𝗏𝗽𝗏 destruction. So, no. We don't know what it is. We also said it was Xerath's ascension, but that's also not it. Because that happened also way before Donker was born. And he's talking about it as if he was there and he saw it, you know, so. Yeah, I don't think that's it. I mean, Vi microdosed with the Shimmer thing, so I don't think it's that bad. Like, we've seen Silco. I don't think that amount, like one drop will cause bad issues. I think it's when you overdose on it, that's when it causes the issues. Like drinking a whole flask of it, that's a problem. Well, I have a feeling that I must know that owl mask person, but I'm just thinking of who it is. We're kind of guessing that it's Ekko, because, I mean, he kind of just disappeared through the, like, all the 3 episodes and he was never mentioned. So... But it also can be, like, anyone else that they would just introduce to us as a cliffhanger, so we don't really know. Maybe 𝗏𝗪𝗻 was pure Arcane back then? No. No, Donker was always a hamster. A really cute hamster. Do you wish to make Seraphine a rework champion? I mean, as a champion, she's a great champion. She's got a really good kit. So, in-game, no. Design-wise, definitely yes. I would definitely want to remove that entire design, that entire sparkly exhibition, and her lore. Yes, definitely. Do you think that Liquid and Arcane has something to do with Zack? No. Zack was created in a lab and then kind of like thrown out into the sewage and then kind of like grew up on his own through inhaling all the toxins within the waters of Zaun, so no. The reason Camille doesn't show up is because there is no real threat. Silco did nothing big so far, and Jinx is a child. You could call Camille when there is a threat like Jhin in town. Nobody calls Camille. Camille does whatever the fuck she wants, so there is a huge threat. And Jinx stealing that hex deck, that's a massive threat. Especially with how everybody at the council were sitting and talking about it and saying that if somebody gets it, if it gets into the wrong hands, it's going to be potential like massive danger. Therefore, they need to use more force and go and raid Zaun if they need to get it back. So they were very expressive about how they felt about the gem ending up in Zaun. So Camille should have shown up at this point. Camille has a private army, right? Yeah, it's her private squad. What if Mel is a 𝗏𝗂𝗧 spy? That's what I was saying. I was saying that she's a war mason of some sort. Didn't Zach have scientist parents though? Yep. Well, they weren't really his parents. They kind of became his parents because they grew to like him. So they kind of created him and then they started liking him. And the 5 actual scientists that were on top of that project, which one of them I'm pretty sure was singed because that's what it looked like. Like if I... Zach... Files... League... Like they did an entire like art thing of him. Maybe I'll be able to find it in a wiki. Let's try finding it in the wiki. In the development. Oh, I know. Yeah, there it is. So in here, they're basically talking about it, right? And at first they're like talking about it just as a... I'll just open it in a new tab. Wait a minute. If we go over it. So like, oh wow, that's really small. But yeah, so basically they're talking about the trial, has chem protocol, safety control is verified, boo boo boo. And then here it starts growing. So they're like, you can see the notes here, like, he outgrew the chamber, needs a new ASAP. Amazing and cute, you know, like, so like they start having some sort of like feelings towards it. Then they start talking about like his thing, what he does. This guy is laughing at us. He's like a little kid sometimes. So they start to like humanize Zach, like the parents who like keep writing here, right? And then here you can see how like they're freaking out, and then you have like the candy and the toy they made, and it's like he's not just a test subject. More like he stole some candy from us. We're the closest thing to parents he's got. Good, and then like strong disciplinary action recommended. Consider removing off to project leads. Basically, they want to remove the project leaders, like the parents of Zach, to get to him. And that's why they say like good luck with that. And 𝗬𝗏𝘓𝑚𝗏𝑃ℎ𝑆 𝐵𝑒𝑛𝑡𝑒𝑛𝑡, like his name is Zach. It's like he just wants to be free. If we don't get him out of here, he's going to hurt himself. So yeah, they're like getting really, really desperate here. And then here in the back, I'm pretty fucking sure that's Victor. That's Singed. And that's when they use the force authorization and like get him out of there. What do you think about the depiction of Singed in Arcane? It feels really strange, especially considering he don't show any care about money or fame, but in his lore he does. He didn't really care about that in the lore either. He was just a university student. He was a university student. He got yeeted out of Piltover, and then he just started doing his own shit. He needed the money to keep doing his creepy ass shit. That was like the only reason why he needed money. And he still gets money from 𝗏𝘂𝗽𝗏, technically. His depiction in Arcane is actually 10 out of 10. I'm pretty sure he still works for 𝗏𝘂𝗏, or else he wouldn't have had that much Shimmer. You think we'll see 𝗬𝗏𝘓's turret in action in Act 3? I don't think so. I think they just use him as a fucking mascot, and that's it. I did watch the sneak peek of Act 3, yes. Ekko is the firefight leader since he wears the red bandana and the same boots Ekko has in the game. It could be. It definitely could be Ekko. Again, like, it's weird that they haven't shown him yet, and the fact that he's friends with the boarders, so yeah. And these guys, which would make sense that that's where they got the masks from. The sump workers, because like they all live in a sump, so it would make sense that they would be friends with the sump workers. Singed was literally yeeted because he didn't show interest in machinery or hextech, which was the main money makers. He wanted to be a biochemist, and he is a biochemist. Yep. Is there some place mages go to learn magic? As far as I know, there is no city of magic, but maybe an academy. There is a spot, like there's a place in 𝗬𝗫𝙪cie, like the light, the something lights, that help kind of control it, but no, there isn't no school for magic, unless there's Ionia that teaches you specific types of like magical fighting. Ekko and his gang befriended 𝗵𝗵𝗱 of Kyrian. Okay, so they're friends with Ekko and his gang. So they are friends. It's canon. The Eliminators, there we go. Yeah. Which lore part sucks, 𝗤𝗏𝗪𝗧? I mean, the changes that they have done to Victor and Donger and that's it. I think everything else is pretty neat. Vladimir Blood Magic School? No, he's got disciples. I don't think they have like a magic school. I mean, there was a magic school, the one that Rail went into, but that wasn't really a school. That was more like a lab where they experimented on kids and killed them to make Rail stronger. The art in Arcane is insane. Studio Fortiche like absolutely outdone themselves. They're such an amazing studio. I'm so happy they worked with them for this long. Is Singed in the show older? He seemed already old when meeting Victor as a kid, so he must be an old man in the present day. Oh yeah, he's super old. He's hella old now. But he just keeps himself alive on that, like, whatever juju juice that he's using. What do you think about Victor's development? I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of it. No. I don't like what they're doing to him. Not a fan. Singed is 120 years old. There we go. Yeah, and he's not dying anytime soon. Victor is getting bullied straight up. Yeah, he uses Chemtech to prolong his life. Exactly. I was reading Vi's bio, and the part with the miners and the old miners gauntlet could still be present in the show as a flashback. It could be, but it's not really necessary for the show. Anything particular you don't like about Victor's changes? I don't like the fact that they give him a sickness. Basically made him into like a desperate mess, and that pushed him to work with Singed. Specifically, like, I think the worst part is just him with Singed. That, like, really, like, pissed me off. Like, I really hate that. Where can I see you react to Arcane? Nowhere. It's illegal. I don't like this that he seems to be portrayed as a possessed guy more than an idealist. Exactly. Yeah. Doesn't Victor just need help first before he can help other people? Donger doesn't want to do it because he knows the danger of Hextech, so he goes to Singed for help. Yeah, why would you go to Singed for help? Why would you trust Singed? Why, like, no. Knowing what Singed is doing, you're going to him for help. Like, what? And what do you mean? Yes, I now understand. Why did you understand? What is it that you understood, my dude? Like, what? What are you talking about? You're not a biochemist. Shut the fuck up. Get back in bed. Couldn't you do 𝗬𝗫𝗻's kind of reaction? No, because I want to watch it in my living room on my sofa, enjoying a snack, not sitting in my studio for like 2 hours and recording myself. Also, I don't really, like, I don't find it as a reaction. You guys hearing me is not the same as you guys seeing me. Like, I need to consider the fact that I have a street outside, you know, people like talking in the street or some shit like that. Like, it's not something I can just simply re-record. It's 2 hours of absolute silence that I need to be on the outside for me to be able to record that. And also sitting on this chair and also at the same time trying to like enjoy the show. But I want to enjoy the show just like anyone else. And I want to sit down at the comfort of my own home next to my partner and watch together. Where is 𝗂𝗏𝗏? I don't know, and I'm mad because I really wanted to see her. Because I've been hyping her up for so long right now, and she's supposed to be like technically the next champion, so like, where are we? Plot twist, Victor becomes Warwick. Yeah, it's not the same if you are aware to be recorded for sure. Just enjoy the thing in peace. Yeah, no, because like when you're recording something like that, you're like very hyper aware of what's going on. It's like one thing if it's like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like 15 minutes, but like a whole 2 hour show with so many details in it, and you want to mention everything that's going on. It's a lot. A lot. So, no. Also, it's like really time consuming. I'd much rather like sit down and make a video for you guys that has all the details and everything that I want to share and talk about with you. Where is Ziggs? That's a really good question. Where the fuck is Ziggs? Zygmunt and Donger are supposed to be like besties and working together at all times. So I really don't understand where Ziggs is. Why would Mel be the next support? They already showed us the house crest. And it looks like 𝗂𝗏𝗏's house crest. Also, they were talking about like taking over like a nation and like Boo. Is Jace more trash Tony Stark? No, I wouldn't say that he's that selfish. I mean, in the lore he is, but in Arcane he's not. He still thinks about Victor and he cares about him a lot. And majority of what he does is for Victor's sake. He's still an absolute douchebag though, about the way that he does things and the way that he decided that he's going to manipulate anyone and use politics for his own gains. Yeah. What is Mel going to do in lane? Throw money to people? No, she's gonna fuck you in the tri-bush, dude. Like trying to get into the tri-bush and she's like, oh, fancy meeting you here, enemy jungler. Here, let me sleep with you so we could get into your mind and manipulate you against your own team. But isn't Karina Cambaron? No way are they bringing up the rival Piltover clan attacked Kate's parents and Karina is just part of that clan. She's not part of that clan. She is technically the clan's Baron. Isn't she? And why wouldn't they bring it? They did it in Legends of Runeterra. Jinx is now in Shurima according to lore, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why either. Mel paints you like her Firelights boy toys. There are some characters so powerful in Runeterra that they will stay mysterious or referenced as legends in future shows like Aurelian Soul, Bard, etc. Yeah, they would definitely mention them. I mean, they already showed us the Kindred mask, so there's that, which is pretty cool, pretty epic. And they're kind of showing Teemo as a children's legends, which is kind of cute. So, yeah. Yeah, they will show them eventually. I mean, depending on the region that we're gonna get into. Jace might be doing the pilgrimage thing to Mount Targon with his mom in that scene. That's kind of what it looked like, but then again, like, they wouldn't do that because there's too many monsters there and they wouldn't survive like a minute. We saw Jace romantic sing, now what about Caitlyn and Vi? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Gay sex on national TV? What are you, high? No way! They might have one kiss though. I mean, we did get Avatar Korra on Nickelodeon. That happened. We got that one kiss. Maybe we'll get a kiss between Vi and Caitlyn, but that's a huge maybe. Jace's family has mines in the Freljord for their hammer business. I think they were just visiting the mines. I guess? Silco adopts Marcus's girl happy family. Oh my god. Please no. Also, why is Marcus's kid a ginger? Who's the mother? You believe they are retconning alternate universe can't interact with main canon thing. Writers said because they showed Pentakill, Corporate Mundo, Hextech Janna, and Star Guardian just Easter eggs. Oh right, I've seen the Pentakill one. It was like a stencil, like spray on the wall. I think it's just like they're not really going to connect these two together. Like all of these into the. They're not going to incorporate it. It's not going to be a real thing. You think the next season would still be about Piltover and Zaun? Yeah, but I think it's going to be more Noxus. More leaning into Noxus. We'll have to watch the next act to know exactly. Do I ship Vi and Caitlyn? I've shipped them for years. For years. I shipped them before it was cool. I was really impressed with the amount of visual storytelling, especially from two guys who have never done this before. Yeah. Yeah. Did an insane job. I completely agree. Wait, have they even announced there's gonna be another season? Yeah. Yeah, they did. They didn't say when, but they said it's gonna happen. Imagine they close Hexa gates to Noxians and they send Darius to handle things. Oh my god, I'd literally die. I will ascend. Definitely. Victor is willing to forge his own empire, meanwhile Jace is enhancing his hammer to show power and refine his politics conversions. They also said the MMO will be released on the 40th season. 40th season of League of Legends? No. No way. No, no way. It's not going to take them 30 years. What? No way. It takes like 5 years. It's like 6 years max to make a game like that. Like 3 to 5 years is enough to make it. Have Samira as a protagonist and Noxus? From the female section, they're probably going to pick Katarina, not Samira. Yeah. Or Talon. I mean, Talon still works with Swain, technically. No, it's not gonna take 30 years. That's bullshit. Is Grayson, the Piltovan woman with the cool voice, dead or not since she appeared in Act 2? Oh, no, she's dead. She appeared in Act 2 as like a memory. Caitlyn had, it was like a memory of Caitlyn's and how Grayson respected her as a shot. So, no. What region do you think is going to be the next focus? Noxus. Definitely not Ixtal. I mean, it could be, because they did try to get into Ixtal. But they've already teased Noxus in like the 3rd arc, so we'll have to wait and see. Act 1 was so good. Act 2 disappoints. I hope Act 3 at least ends in a satisfying way. Yeah, Act 2 kind of disappointed me too. Like we talked about it before, like it felt like it was a kind of like step forward for like Act 3. It was like a... Yeah, they kind of used it for that. I enjoyed the first episode. But then like the things just started getting weird with the whole like Jason and Mel thing, and then like the Victor thing, and then the Singed thing, and then the Victor going to Singed and Donger being useless, and yeah, the only good thing that came out of it was probably the fucking BDSM yordle and the and the brothel. Like, that was the best scene in the whole Act 2. That and the last scene in the third episode with Jinx and the flare, which was absolutely beautiful. At least we can say Arcane isn't boring. Yeah, no, it definitely isn't boring. BDSM Yordle is such a weird concept. Yikes. Hey, don't kink shame Yordles, okay? They have their thing too. What if Evelyn was part of 𝗤𝗏𝗪𝙀𝗪? Almost all regions have their demons. Fiddle Noxus has Swain, Ixtal has Tom. I mean, she goes to where she can manipulate men and women. I don't think she's related to any region. Dinka, when I edit the wiki, I may mention Swain as an Arcane cameo, because the Ravens are hella sus. Yo, it's hella sus. Hella sus. I mentioned it the first time, second time, like, it's hella fucking sus. They're like, you wouldn't animate Ravens for that long for no reason. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. Come on. Why would you waste so much time on animating that specific scene if it doesn't have like a higher meaning? What being am I going to be in a world of Runeterra? No, I'm just gonna be a human. Swain Easter egg at the end, maybe? Maybe. Yeah. Crows are a setup for Noxus. Arcane Season 2 is Noxus. That's what I want. That's what I want, yeah. The thing is, like, both Fiddle and Swain are aware of Jinx. The difference is that Swain uses ravens and Fiddle uses crows. Ravens are more intelligent than crows. And he knows what she had done. But then they both work at the same time, you know, like if he uses his W, he already knows your secrets, and Fiddle uses your fear against you. So he can know that just by like being around you. Does Swain and Darius get along? Could they both show up in Act 3? I don't think they will show up in Act 3. I don't see a reason to send Darius an expedition to Piltover. He has enough shit that he needs to do on his own. But maybe it's going to be like a different house. Maybe we'll get to see Mel's mom. That would be pretty epic. And Swain wouldn't go there. Also, Swain has a Hextech skin, which is pretty epic. Imagine if Swain shows up in a Hextech skin. Stop. I would die. That would be so epic. Yes, I have seen the sneak peek. I would play a horror game with Fiddlestick. I would love to see a horror game with Fiddlesticks. That would be actually really good. Does the timeline work out for Swain here? Yeah. Yeah. Because it's... Mel's mom, who's a war mason. A really successful war mason. I mean, she could still be under Darkwolf's rule, but because we've seen all these ravens, I don't think it's Darkwolf anymore. Pretty sure it's 𝗬𝗏. While you were being heterosexual, I was busy dying. Victor, probably. He's just a confused himbo. It's okay. It happens. 𝗬𝗏 was not released until 𝗬𝗏 showed up. 𝗬𝗏 was the one who released 𝗬𝗏 and took control of it. Darkwool had nothing to do with 𝗬𝗏. Darkwool was actually mind fucked by LeBlanc. She was manipulating him from like the very beginning. Everything that happened all over the world by Noxus was basically like LeBlanc's doing. That's why the 𝗨𝗏𝗪𝗪 exists now. 𝗬𝗏 has created 3 rulers for Noxus in case LeBlanc decides to take control of one of them. Sigma male Victor with grinds at evolution. I think it's possible that next series could be released in like 2 years, because without any doubt they increase the number of people working on the next series by a big number. Oh yeah, 100%. Also, like, I mean, they kind of worked on this for 6 years. I have a feeling they might already have been working on season 2 in secret. They're just not telling us anything. So yeah, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. They have wasted so much money. They've well, not wasted, they invested so much money into the marketing of the first season. Like, that's actually insane. Season 3 had to be focused on Ionia and Targon. Yeah, or Bilgewater. Could also be that. Depending on where they're gonna go. I mean, we knew nothing about Arcane until 2019. Yeah, exactly. I feel like Demacia, Noxus, and Ionia have too much stories in common to be season 2. Zaun Piltover arc is pretty isolated lore-wise, so they might look into another isolated region. Maybe. Ew, how would 𝗬𝗏 and Tywin Lannister get along? Very well. Very well. They would literally hear one another. Dinka, if they do Noxian season, imagine the retcons. No. No, 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 no. Tesla, why would you say that? Tesla, no. I really hope they won't. Oh my god. Yo, I'll be punching the air. I'll be crawling on walls. I'll be fucking pterodactyl screeching. The closest thing this season 2 about Noxus is gonna be first Ionian invasion. It's close in timeline and hell epic. Well, technically, honestly, majority of all these regions have the exact same story. Yeah, you got Zaun Piltover, which is Demacia and its mages, or Noxians and Ionians. Well, Noxian and Ionians are like a lot more. There's a lot more to it. But I mean, they can do a whole series about Ionia with Zed, Shen, and Jhin, and Akali, and Kayn. They made a whole comic about it. I don't see a reason why they won't make a whole series about it. And they could bring Chameleon there as well. So that could actually be pretty cool. The fall of 𝗵𝗫𝗪 can be good. That could be pretty epic, yeah. But there isn't much like characters and the void that you can work with. Like, why you're gonna make it like a whole series just about Kai'Sa and Kassadin? Next season, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It could be 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It could be, because they've already started moving towards, like, they started moving in there, and they do want the source of magic, so... Probably. I can imagine the retcons. Noxus didn't actually commit war crimes. 𝗨 is actually a friendly giant. 𝗬𝗂𝗽𝗧 is not an angry old man, he's cool. LeBlanc's plans actually work. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Oh man. Well, I think this is enough for today, you guys. We've had a good time. We've discussed this profoundly. I will have to now write a whole script for that next video. If you haven't watched my recap of episodes 1 to 3, you're more than welcome to do that. And I'll be working on now episodes 4 to 7. And hopefully I'll be done with that by Saturday. And then we've got the new rhythm game that is coming out for Riot Forge with 𝗬𝗎𝗓 and 𝗬𝗵𝕋. And then we might actually have news news of the Ruined King, because they've been hinting at it on Twitter, and I'm like waiting for it to happen. So there's that, and I also need to play all these like new events that are on League of Legends. So today, later today, I'll be going on stream yet again, because it's Sunday, and we'll be going over the stuff and over the games. Maybe we'll continue playing Legends of Runeterra, even though it's not quite canon, and and keep playing, going through that new event that they have on League that I haven't really touched yet, but I know that there's a lot of secret things in there that we might find interesting, lore-wise. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a lovely 3 hours, and yeah, let's all go get some rest and have a lovely week, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.